Chaka Khan, every woman. One of the voices of an entire generation, the queen of funk. But before the microphone, it was a megaphone. Cause she joined the Black Panthers when she was just a teenager. Alright, so boom. When you think of her name, you think of Chaka Khan and Rufus. But first it was Chaka Khan and Huey? Nah, she wasn't in Oakland. She's from Chicago. Her born name was Yvette Marie Stevens. And many people think she changed her name upon joining the Black Panther Party. But it was actually around the age of 13 that she took the name Shaka Adune Adufe Hodari Karifi, given to her by a Yoruba priest. She became really close to one of her school teachers, a lady named Miss Jenkins. They would talk almost every day. And this is around the time Shaka's activism started to take form. Together, they created a grassroots movement at the school. It was called CASO, which stood for Calumet Afro Student Organization. And it wasn't for play. They was about that work, like Brother Muzone making his way down over Retainer. Chinese cemetery and all. They hit the ground running. Getting black studies and courses added to the curriculum. They scheduled protests and walkouts. Shaka even jump-started the walkouts by throwing smoke bombs in the hallways and forcing evacuation. The principal was an op. So they slid like the stretch game. And just like that, they were successful at getting the principal up out of there.
Brown says your services are no longer needed in the community.
Shaka was going so hard that she landed on the radar. The FBI showed up to her house. They told her mom that if she didn't fall back, they were going to give her more charges than Shaq in the low post. I mean, picture that. The FBI showing up to the house of a teenager in an effort to silence her. Her mom was a G. She saw right through it. Shaka came from a two-parent home, but her mom and dad had by this time divorced. Her dad had remarried, and his second wife, a woman named Connie, was about that life too. She took Shaka to rallies and basically fanned her flames for social justice. Still in high school, this is when Shaka joined the Black Panther Party. She was still so young that they wouldn't let her get active, and she started out selling the party's newspaper. She would eventually start a free breakfast program in an old church not far from where she lived. She ran the program herself and had to skip all of her morning classes to do it. It was around this time that she became friends with the young GOAT himself, the Black Messiah, Fred Hampton. While hanging out at the college campus and watching revolutionary movies after hours, Shaka and a group of college-age members were confronted by a campus police officer. Well, they squatted up and rolled on him like the Alabama River Brawl. You know, the Alabama Sweet Tea Party. And they bum rushed him like Public Enemy did the show in '87. Shaka took his gun from him during the scuffle. And not only did she take it, she kept it.
I hold on to the gun.
She started going to the gun range and learned how to use it. She'd eventually get rid of it. But her young legend was by now cemented. Before she was ready to gladly risk it all through the fire and tell us something good, she was organizing in the middle of the fire and telling it for the hood. She's a jewel, y'all.